So, all right, guys, we got to get this one right. On three, we're going to say, welcome back to Extraordinary Thoughts for On Their Mind. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back to Extraordinary Minds.
And we back.
That'll work right there.
Yeah.
And we back. And we
Yeah.
back. And we back. And we
Y'all did y'all best. And that's all that matters.
Now, before we get started with this episode, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this episode, share this podcast, and if you can, do me a favor, head on down to the review section and leave an honest review, because this podcast was dedicated to helping us become a better version of ourselves. And I don't know what that version is, but I know that just like we need a little bit more money, just like we need a little bit more sleep, just like we need a little bit more of anything in life, we deserve to be a little better than what we are right now. What's going on, everybody? It's that ordinary podcaster with the extraordinary thoughts that tells you to stop being great and be extraordinary. I'm your host, Demetrius Thigpen, also known as Meech Speaks, and welcome back to another episode of Extraordinary Thoughts for the Ordinary Mind. Now, first and foremost, man, I'm just going to go ahead and just say this. For those who got snow, man, my heart going out to you. Because we was hoping that the snow day was going to come on Tuesday. You know what I mean? We wasn't hoping for it to come on Monday, man. We already had the day off. We didn't need a snow day, man. We feel like we got cheated out of one of our snow days right now. So if we on the East Coast, if you're on the East Coast, man, I'm praying for you right now, because I know you hoping another one kick up on Tuesday. But for everybody else, happy Martin Luther King Day. Do me a favor and just go ahead and just read an article, read a book, read something, just to give you observance of what he did for everyone. And I bring that up because my kids came up to me. And it was like, Dad, can you read this book? Dad, can you read this book? And it was the I Have a Dream speech, but it was made for kids. You know what I mean? It was made for kids. And, I sat there, I read the book. And I'm not even about to lie to you. A part of me was getting hyped up. You know what I mean? I stood up while I was reading it. You feel me? I even changed up my voice so that way if somebody else was speaking, I can match their voice a little bit. I really got out of character. I really got out of body reading the book. And I think it really comes back to, for those who don't know, like I actually went to an Afrocentric school back in from 5th grade to 8th grade. And for those who don't know what an Afrocentric school is, imagine going to a Catholic school, take God out of the equation and add in Black culture. And that was really what my school was. We still had the exact same type of curriculum that everybody else had, but it was definitely the presence of African culture, Black culture was very heavy growing up for me. And, it really took me back a little bit, and I really... at the time I didn't think much of it when I was a kid, but as I became an adult and just looking at society issues and just having pride within yourself and who you are and where you come from, it really means a lot. Especially because my kids are mixed. So, and damn, this is a lot. This is really the first time I actually talk about like my family on there like that. But my kids are mixed, so like to have that other side to them, that's there, present, and is aware. I feel like that, that's a big benefit on their side, and it's definitely a privilege. It's definitely a privilege, and I'm glad to have that. Let's go ahead and get into today's episode. Now, earlier last week, I had posted to my Instagram, and, I talked about having the same faith that others have in you, in yourself. Oh man, I kind of chopped that up. Let me say it again. I said, have the same faith in yourself that others have in you. Now, for those who don't understand what I mean, I want you to have the same faith in yourself that others have in you. I want you to believe in yourself the same way that others believe in you. Now, I'm 100% sure that there's somebody right now that's saying, well, people don't believe in me. People don't support me. People don't, they ain't got my best interests at heart. I'm always having to push my stuff. It ain't nothing but strangers supporting me. See, that ain't the whole truth. That ain't the whole truth. And I want to say that right now. A lot of times we get so caught up in the fact that nobody supports us that we forget that there's some people right now that believe in us more than they believe in themselves. You feel me? There's some people right now that's speaking on your behalf, and they ain't even gonna tell you that they spoke on your behalf. They just rooting for you. They really just rooting for you. And I want you to understand that, okay? That there's some people that are really believing in you. And you need to have that exact same type of faith in yourself that they be having in you. You need to talk about yourself the same way that they be talking about you. You need to go ahead and believe in your work, your efforts, your whatever the fuck we want to add into the equation the same way that they do. Stop worrying about who don't believe in you and start worrying about who does believe in you. And I'm going to flip gears real quick, because a lot of times we're those other people. We're those other people. How many of us are actually real good friends right now? You know what I mean? Like, how many of us are real good friends? I'm talking about your friend do something, he can't do no wrong. That's just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. I'm supporting it. Hey, my friend, he came up, he's got this, he's got this new project coming up. He's got this new content. Hey, I'm supporting it. I know he can do it. A lot of us do that. But then when it's us, right? When it's us, man, we talk to each other. We talk to ourselves like we acquaintances with ourselves. We talk to ourselves like as if like we've done something to ourselves to kind of like make us disbelief in what we have to say. And what I mean by that is that when we get to talking about ourselves, when we get to talking about our work, when we talking about our content, when we talk about our projects, when we talk about our products, when we talk about whatever we're doing, it's not at 100%. And don't sit there and try to lie to me and say that it is. All right? Like, don't sit there and try to lie to me and say it is. We talk about our shit like it's at 70%, 80%. Hell, 95 sometimes on a good day. And we only talk about it at a 95% if we've already received a win. If we ain't received no wins, it ain't going to 90. I promise you that. Don't lie to me now. Why is that? Why is it that others can believe in us? I'm talking about 100%, but we don't. And I want you to understand this right now as we dive deeper into this episode, that you betray the belief, you betray the confidence, you betray the fidelity that others have in you when you don't believe in yourself. When you don't believe in yourself, you make people that do believe in you look stupid as hell. And I'm going to just go ahead and be 100% transparent, because, that's something that I tend to struggle with sometimes, is believing in myself. I know the one that, the one that created the episode, the one that made the podcast, the one that beat the odds to become a published author, the one that's always overcoming some form of adversity. Yes, I struggle with this. I struggle with this. Sometimes on a good day, I'm running at 75%. Matter of fact, to be honest with you, I'm going to just keep it 100. My love language is positive affirmations, because I struggle with believing in myself so much, because I struggle with giving myself these things. So when I'm telling you about this, I'm not speaking from a high horse. Y'all know I flew in on Experience Airlines, right? Y'all know I did. So when I tell you that you betray the faith, confidence that they have in you when you don't believe in yourself, trust me, I'm speaking from experience. Lately, it has been a shift within my life. And when I say it's been a shift, I'm talking about both professionally and personally. It's been a big shift. And as this shift comes, the first things that I want to do is say, hold on, hold on. I don't think I'm ready for that. Hold on. I need a little bit more time. Hold on. I don't think I can do this. The whole time they pushing me to the edge. They telling me that it's time to go. It's time to jump. You ready to fly? And I'm thinking to myself, I think I need a little bit more practice time. Who else been in that situation? It's scary. And you asking yourself right now, how can they believe in me more than I believe in me? How can somebody have more faith in what I can do than what I do? How can somebody else do that? I'm going to go ahead and just tell you this right now. It's people can believe in you like that because they don't have you in their head. People can believe in you at 100% because they don't have you in their head. And what I mean by that is that when they tell you that you can do it, when they tell you that you ready, they not saying to themselves, they not beating themselves up the way that you do. They're not hypercritical about what you did like how you are. They're not looking at your past mistakes from 5 years ago and saying to themselves like, nah, he can't do it. And because they don't have you in their head, they're able to believe in you wholeheartedly like that. Now, one thing that I've learned is that, I'm an overthinker. I got that anxiety. I tend to, I tend to have that negative self-talk when I'm talking about myself. So the moment that it's time for me to step off the ledge, the first thing that I'm going to say is, I failed last time. Maybe I'm not ready. I messed up, I messed up a couple of times, but, I did succeed. I'm the one that's giving the negative self-talk. And when I give myself that negative self-talk, what tends to happen? My anxiety starts to rise. I start to overthink. I'm stutter stepping. I'm speaking low when I should be speaking, a little bit like how I'm supposed to. I'm second guessing myself. A good friend of mine told me, he said, stop looking at it like, you're not ready or you're being forced into a situation that you may not succeed in. He said, look at it like this. We down in the game. Coach look over at you. He wants you to run that route and he gonna throw you the ball. If you catch it, you catch it. But if you don't, you ain't gonna never play again. That's how you need to look at it. And when he said it like that, it kind of changed the way that I was looking at it. That the whole thing is riding on me. And I want you to understand something real quick because, that may seem like a lot of pressure to some. That's a lot of pressure to some. They about to tell you right now, you the breadwinner. They about to tell you right now that you the front man. They about to tell you right now that you the only hope. But they believe in you so much and they know that you can do it. They know that you can do it. That they're willing to put their eggs in that basket on you. They willing to go all in on you. Because it's something about you right now. I'm talking about it's something about your craft, your experience, your charisma, the way that you carry yourself, your work ethic. I'm just going to keep going down the list of things of how good you really are until you start to believe in it the same way that they starting to believe in it. That's why they want you out there. It ain't because they just randomly pick somebody. And I want people to understand that if you wasn't ready, you see what I'm saying? Like if you wasn't ready for the things that are about to come your way, your name wouldn't be in that sentence. I promise you that right now. If you weren't ready for what's coming your way, your name wouldn't be mentioned. If you wasn't ready for that promotion, your name wouldn't have been considered. If you wasn't ready for this opportunity, I promise you, your name wouldn't have been considered. If you weren't ready, if people weren't really fucking supporting you like that, your name wouldn't even be up here. But it's because of your work ethic. It's because of the things that you have done to this point that has gotten you to this exact moment. And the only thing that you got to do right now is fucking believe in yourself. That's all you got to do. All you have to do is believe in yourself. Because they do. They want to see you win. And the problem is that a lot of times, like we so quick to say that nobody want to see us win. But the reality is that we can't fully see ourselves winning. So it's easier to say that somebody else doesn't see it rather than to say that it's us that doesn't see it. But you know how hard you worked for this moment right here? Do you know how many late nights you stayed for this moment right here? Early moments that you came for this? How many times you failed, gained that experience, and finally you standing here right now and you telling me that you can't fucking believe in yourself? When you the best man for the job, when you the one that got the most experience for the situation right now? I told y'all I wasn't going to play with y'all when I came back to this episode now, didn't I? I told y'all I wasn't going to play with y'all when I came back to this podcast. I told y'all that in 2022, we was going to make some changes. And I think one of the biggest changes that we need to make with ourselves is the confidence that we have in it. You're made for this. You were destined for this. Them shifts in your life right now, you know, them personal and professional shifts that you got going on right now in your life. It's happening for a reason. This is your time. This is your moment. Stop trying to self-sabotage it. You're up next. And this episode is brought to you by Rise Scenario-Based Training. That's right, Rise Scenario-Based Training, where we create the opportunity so you can rise to the occasion. And just like that, another extraordinary thought left this ordinary mind. I hope you enjoyed this episode half as much as I enjoyed making it. Stay tuned every Monday as we bring you another episode. And lastly, don't forget to like this podcast, subscribe to this podcast, and share this podcast, because this podcast was dedicated to helping you become a better version of yourself. And I don't know who needs to hear that, but just like we need more sleep, just like we need more money, we deserve to be a better version of ourselves. Stay hungry, stay motivated. I'm out.